Well, I always tell the guys at the main dealership that I will buy absolutely anything, and they have taken me at my word on this one. So on this occasion, they took me on my word, and they had a lady who was newly qualifying for a mobility car. So that's where you get a car, a government-backed scheme where you get a car for free if you've got ill health or something like that, you need help. I think you can put some money down as well, can't you, to get a better car if you want. But she newly qualified for it, and she had her old car, and she didn't really know what to do with it. And they said, we know a chap will have that. So we've got a 2002 Renault Megane, so donkey's age old. It is a 1.6 16 valve, so quite a nippy little engine. Probably would have been better if it was a very small cc though in the current market. But yeah, 1.6 16 valve. I think it's done 137, but we'll check in a second. So yeah, they sent me across some pictures of it because the lady hadn't actually bought it into them. She said she didn't want to go down We Buy Any Car. I didn't want people coming up to her house and anything like that. So they sent me some pictures across. And I'm going to be honest here, I didn't properly look it over. I had a quick scan over the pictures. The pictures were on a driveway when it was nice and wet from raining. And I didn't spot a lot of stuff, and I didn't check the MOT, which I'm sure a lot of the MOT warriors are already on the case. The MOT on this actually runs out this month as well, so to have any value it needs a new MOT. That said, the old MOTs don't actually read that bad, and perhaps we'll have a look at that, I'm not sure. Anyway, so bodywork wise, it's quite a nice colour, but bodywork wise we've got really bad lacquer peel and fading here on the door. We've got various stickers all over it, which as we know means that it's covering damage. There's something going on here with the rear boot that needs a bit of paint as well. We've got a Daisy sticker down there that's supposed to look like Disney, no doubt. And I think we've got some more. Where was the rest of the lacquer peel? Oh, it was on this front wing here. Got fade and lacquer peel on the front wing as well. Again, it looks better at the moment because it's wet, like it was when I saw the pictures. The rest of the bodywork, to be fair to it, for its age, isn't bad. It doesn't have any big dings and dents on it. And the rest of the paint would actually polish up okay, but we don't know what's going on with that down there. That's probably hiding some damage. We've got alloy wheels. Look at that. Get in. What is it? It's a Fiji? I'm sure someone's going to tell me how I've pronounced that wrong. Someone probably knows their Megane special editions. Inside, it's locked. Let's unlock it. We've got two keys, two remote keys. They both seem to work. Inside isn't too bad either, actually, to be honest. It's really just the faded paint that's letting it down. The door cards are okay. All the switches haven't worn through. And the seats, although there's some cracking in this sort of, whatever that is, I don't want to say it's leather, it probably isn't. That could actually, you know, with a bit of balm, tidy up a bit. The seat fabric's okay. It's not worn through. It's not torn. Back is the same. Back's actually really quite good. There's no cracking on that sort of leather stuff here. So, you know, to be fair, I've had worse cars that were newer than this. Let's have a look at what the exact mileage is on it. Oh, the mileage isn't coming up. I'm sure the mileage came up on it before. Says oil is okay. I'm sure the mileage came up before. We'll start it up anyway and see if it comes on when we start it up. Starts up okay. Idling wise, I think I noticed it had a slightly uneven idle, slightly lumpy idle. Don't know if the windows work. Oh, that's all right. It's got some speed to it still. I thought I expected that to be slow. Both the windows work okay. Oh yeah, there's mileage has come up now. 127,371. So it's only the same miles as the 2017 Skoda in front. So actually, for the age, it's actually quite low mileage, isn't it? I've got to point out the headliner is all hanging. Reeds sticking. It's all hanging down. Which again, isn't a hard job. It's just a little bit time consuming. Things like the stereo seem to still work, he says. What have I done wrong? It was working a minute ago. Stereo's intermittent. No, I don't think it is. It was working. Oh, there we go. I'm just impatient. Even the gear knob isn't really that worn for the mileage. Do the blowers work? Yeah, blowers work. We've got a slightly uneven idle. You can feel a little bit of vibration through the gear lever. Not massive. Let's pop the engine bay and have a little look. Here we go. We've got some signs of something going on here straight away. So
perhaps the uneven idle is due to this injector having been broken, the clip on the injector potentially having been broken. Either that or there's a bit of oil getting into them, because there is some tissue paper stuck down there. I can see some tissue paper stuck down there. So we might have bad spark plugs, we might have bad injectors. Yeah, I mean, it's not horrendous. The belt seems okay. Alternator looks fairly new. Power steering fluid, how's that looking? Coolant levels bang in the middle of where it should be. Power steering fluid's where it should be. This isn't actually in bad condition for, is that taped up or is that? Yeah, that's been gaffer taped up at some time, so that obviously has some breaks in it at some point. So an uneven idle could be air getting in where it shouldn't be. It could be bad spark plugs. We don't really know. Battery seems powerful enough. A couple of times I've started it up. It doesn't seem to have horrendous amounts of. Oh, it's getting a bit poor now, but it's got quite a lot of oil down the block. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bit of a leak from the rocker cover or something. Sorry, that caught me by surprise. I've not seen a dipstick that short before. Let's have a quick look. Well, oil reading is where it should be as well, pretty much. Not the cleanest oil, but not horrendous. Let's just take a little look at the MOT history, because I don't think that read too badly. So yeah, the MOT is pretty much out today actually. If we look at the history, had a pass last year and the only advisories was a near side drive shaft boot and a brake pipe. Before that, there was an oil leak, but not excessive. That seems to have disappeared in a year. I don't know what happened there. Maybe it's just a bad sump plug, I don't know. 2021 we got the oil leak there again, but again nothing for underbody here at all. Just tyres there, drive shaft boot again, same drive shaft boot year after year. You'd just think after 3 years it would have cracked completely. Yeah, tyres, drive shaft boot missing. It's actually got quite a clean history for its age. So yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say that I'm probably correct that it does have a bit of a leak on the rocker cover coming down there. So it might be that it doesn't need a huge amount to get it through an MOT actually. Now I've probably put on a thumbnail what I paid for this absolute beauty, and it was £200. And that's probably £200 too much, to be honest. In reality, I'll probably write this back to nothing on the books kind of thing, because to be honest, its value is swallowed up really in getting good price on stuff like the Yeti and the other cars here. It was done just as a bit of a favour to them, but plus I thought it'd make a nice bit of content. This is probably the perfect kind of car I was thinking of to go something like Rustival in, which is Hubnut and Team's event, which is actually happening on the 9th, Saturday 9th. In my last video I said 7th. It is at the British Motor Museum, and it's a event just to celebrate cars, to be honest, all kinds of cars. And at the British Motor Museum, I'm going along, so I'll see a lot of you there. I'm going to be doing a little bit on stage actually. There's a lot of other YouTubers going, so yeah, it's the British Motor Museum on the 9th, and you get free entry to both the actual show and to the museum, so it's really good value for money. I'll put a link in the video description down below for that. So yeah, hopefully get along and support Hubnut and the others organising that. I hope to see you there. But yeah, I would have thought this would be the perfect kind of car to celebrate just the kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, mundane runabouts or the Bangonomics side of cars. Anyway, you probably all want to know how it drives, so let's go for a little spin. So I've driven the Megane back home last night, and I'm driving back in today, and I have to say, for all that I've ribbed it, it is actually an okay car. Compared to the stuff I pick up from the auctions, the brakes are good, they're not pulling left or right, they're not graunching. The gearbox is fine, it goes with the gears nicely, the clutch is smooth. The suspension is compliant, there's no knocks or bangs on it, there's no nasty rattles anywhere. The heater works as it should do, the temperature is staying bang on half. It's actually okay to drive, so as ugly as it might be on the outside, in terms of a functioning car, it goes really well. You get that odd whiff when you're sort of at a standstill, you get a slight whiff of sort of burning oil in the engine bay from the leaks and so forth. Very, very slight. I mean, I know to look out for it. But yeah, I mean, like I say, here we are up into 5th gear, we're pottering along, coming up to the national speed limit. And it's fine. There's no nasty noises anywhere. This is a prime example of what I say about, obviously, part exchange cars. People get rid of them because they want to get out of them. In this instance, the person's been given, you know, the opportunity to get a brand new car, which they probably haven't had before with the mobility scheme. This was their daily driver. They used it every day. It had to be reliable for them, and they just didn't want the hassle of selling it. So in terms of the reason for getting rid of the car, the odds on are that it was going to be a half decent car to drive. So yeah, I'm quite impressed. There are a few of us out there. I think we'd class Hubnut as one of them, wouldn't we? And a few other guys that watch the channel that also have this perverse pleasure from driving cars that cost absolutely nothing but function well as a car. Almost sticking your fingers up to those people driving around in stuff they're paying £400 or £500 a month for on a lease, and saying, yeah, look, this cost me less than your month's lease and it works as a car and I can find better things to do with my money. I mean, that's not, obviously not knocking anyone that does that. Obviously it's nice to have a nice car as well, but they say it's a certain mindset certain people have got, this Bangonomics mindset, where they don't really worry too much about what people think of them. It's like a certain set of people just like to drive around in cheap cars. I get it said to me by my friends all the time, James, if you sold all that stuff, if you sold that van, that Firebird, the MGBs, that old Range Rover, you sold all of those, your Suzuki Swift, and you pulled that money together, you get a really, really nice car. But having one car that I'm worried about looking after and keeping the mileage low, and just doesn't appeal. Does not appeal. So what are we going to do with the plucky little Megane? Well, with 4 days MOT left on it, if I put any money into it at all, I'm likely to end up upside down. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have a bit of fun. We're going to list this on Marketplace for £95. So I'll take a £100 hit. We're going to list it for £95. The content on this video will cover the rest of the cost of the car, no doubt. We're going to put it up for £95 on Marketplace and just show you what messes we get at that kind of money. I bet you I will still struggle to sell the car at £95 without a load of hassle. So let's get it listed. We're going to put it down as spares and repair. We're going to say it needs to be transported away. At the end of the day, my duty is covered as long as I put that on the form and get them to sign it and don't let them drive away straight away. What I've had before is given them the keys and said, come and get it transported after hours. And then it's up to them what they do with it. And yeah, I mean, obviously we're not going to be warranting anything on this car at all. What it's going to cost to go for an MOT, I have absolutely no idea. It might go through. It'd be tempting to put it through an MOT and see, but the trouble is if you put it for an MOT and see what it needed, then potentially it's, well, I guess actually it'll probably still be worth the £95, isn't it? Comment down below. Okay, comment down below. I'm going to let you decide on the fate of this little Megane from here forwards. Either we put it through an MOT and see what happens with it, see if it goes through and gets a ticket or not, what it would cost to do, or we stick it on Marketplace as it is on a spares and repair basis for £95. So I'm going to let you decide the future of the car. Get in the comments down below and let me know what you think. As always, massive thanks for watching my ramblings, much appreciated, and I'll see you on the next one. So Adrian from A&K Van Services are here on this very wet and windy afternoon to take
the Vauxhall Adam up to our raffle winner Stephen. He's having it delivered to him. So he's gonna, I think his daughter's gonna be using this. I think he said his daughter and his wife were gonna be sharing it or something like that. So yeah, all loaded up, ready to go up country. Well done, Stephen. Massive thanks to everyone that entered.